everyone! In today's video, we're checking out a botanical garden that I visited while I was in Michigan. I'm not 100% sure on the correct pronunciation of this botanical garden. I think it's Matthaei, but I could be wrong. It's located in Ann Arbor and it's actually a part of the University of Michigan. One thing I liked about this garden is that it had different sections, so you kind of have a little bit of something for everyone. I'll insert a photo of the map, but basically where we are now is kind of like the floral section in case you couldn't tell. They also had a children's section for activities for younger kids. I believe there's also around 3 miles of walking trails, and there's also a campus farm, which I thought was really neat. You'll see that later on. There's also a conservatory and different houses that you can kind of go in and explore and learn. During my visit, I just stuck with the outdoors because coming from Florida where it's like 90 degrees outside every day, I had enough of being indoors, so I kind of opted out of the indoor activities and just stuck with the walking and embracing nature. This botanical garden is open up year-round, so I do like the fact that you can go onto their website and click the season that your visit will be during. People have posted photos that they've taken, so you can kind of see what's in bloom before you come. If I was more into photography or had a better camera, I would definitely want to visit this spot, not just because of the flowers and the trees and stuff like that, but there's so many butterflies and birds just flying around. So overall, it's definitely a tranquil, peaceful environment. I really like that this place wasn't overcrowded either. I once visited this large botanical garden in Dallas, Texas, and it was gorgeous. Don't get me wrong, but it was crowded there. There was people everywhere that you turn, and it kind of takes away from the natural beauty that surrounds you. I didn't have that issue at all here, and I absolutely loved it because I really got to appreciate the trees, the flowers, and just the space. Coming up, you're about to see one of my favorite parts about this garden, and it's something so simple but so beautiful, and it's just this tunnel of trees. I love the feeling of walking underneath and just being surrounded by all green. I'm always impressed with anyone who's good with taking care of plants. I do not have a green thumb. Thank goodness I live in Florida where, the plants got to kind of thrive on their own and don't really need maintenance. Because back in New York, anytime I was supposed to take care of a plant, the plant would die. I don't get it. Sometimes you water it too much, sometimes you water it not enough. It needs sun, it doesn't need sun. If you're good at taking care of plants, let me know the secret down below. What is it? Why can't I understand it? I welcome all tips and advice for taking care of plants because I know nothing. So after checking out these lovely sunflowers, we're next going to head over to the campus farm, and that's where they have all their vegetables and greenhouses. The idea of the campus farm is a pretty neat one. It's food grown by students for students. So all the produce that's eventually harvested goes back to the university's dining, and that just completes their whole idea of farm to table. Here's a peek into one of their greenhouses. This one had tomatoes in it. Mostly were unripe. There were a few ripe ones that fell on the ground. And this greenhouse was filled with peppers that definitely looked ready to be picked. It was hard to resist to pick them, but I did not plant them. I did not grow them, so I resisted. There were a couple of other greenhouses, but the doors were closed on them, so I didn't want to pry where I'm not supposed to be. So nevertheless, I figured I would just continue onward with my walk, and the next thing I figured I would check out is their pond. As a note for anyone who might be thinking about visiting this botanical garden, I just want everyone to know that admission is free, which is a beautiful price. And the only thing you do have to pay for is metered parking. It has a maximum of $6, which is not bad in my opinion. And I believe for an hour, it's just over $2. So really that's not bad. You get to explore so much here. It's definitely worth it. I tried getting some nature sounds, but it's pretty hard when you keep hearing the speaker background of your own phone. I don't know why. But this area was pretty cool. You had a little lookout thing. I tried to insert my phone so you guys can kind of look through it with me. It doesn't really zoom in that much. You can just look without these things. It would do well enough. There's still a little fun activity though, and I'm sure kids love them. I did like that next to this one, they had a handicap accessible one, though the trail to actually get to these binoculars is a bit of a rocky road, so I don't know how handicap accessible the actual trail is, but yeah, just throwing it out there. This is the last section of the botanical garden that we visited, which leads to my ultimate favorite part of this trip, and that was this hummingbird. You are cute. This made it all worth it. Alright guys, well that's it for today's video. I definitely recommend checking out this botanical garden if you're ever in the Ann Arbor area. As always, I appreciate you hanging out with me today. If you want, feel free to like and subscribe, and until next time, bye friends!